Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna be reviewing, taking a look at, titingin tayo ng G.I. Joe Classified Series ulit. This time, this is a second-hand. This doesn't really look like second-hand, but I bought this second-hand. Facebook Marketplace is your friend if you're looking for stuff. Okay. So this is from the first wave, G.I. Joe Classified Series Scarlett. Cue that intro. So, of course, titingnan natin yung kanyang artwork. May pagka-Phil Noto yung artwork. I'm not sure if si Phil Noto yung nag-drawing nito. Pero mukhang si Phil Noto. Mukhang Phil Noto art. I really love that. Ang ganda nung brush strokes and everything, and yung simplified na line art. Mostly letting the color provide the volume for the artwork. I really love this piece. And some symbols explaining her proficiencies as a warrior. That's it. Okay, let's open. So the condition of the box is a bit banged up, but I'm really not looking to keep it inside the box, so it's okay. Clamshell is a bit already damaged because this girl is probably stuck in there pretty tightly. And then I have heard complaints about this two-piece crossbow. Yeah, the crossbow is kind of like a pain since this is made up of two parts, and she has a bunch of knives, like 3 knives, and I think I lost one right now. It fell to the floor. Anyway, yeah, I found it. Alright, what's next? Lower the camera. Alright, lower the camera. And there we have Scarlett outside of her box. And she looks great. I was gonna say magnificent, but that's a hyperbole. She looks fine for a figure. She's actually pretty. I guess she's going to be pretty small compared to the other Joes, since she has a smaller stature than most of the guys. I mean, I'm sure Gung Ho would tower over her. I'm sorry if I cannot bring in the other Joes right now because the other Joes are in a box which I do not know where. Anyway, so if you could look at her face, you see that face? There are freckles. You see those? See that? Her face has freckles. That's a level of detail that's really astounding. If this was an older toy, what Toy Biz usually do with ponytails is that they put a little hinge there, and you can actually twist it. Wait, I have a sample. I have a review of this guy. This is a Ripclaw from Cyber Force by Mark Silvestri, Image Comics. And I was saying with those ponytailed characters. See, Toy Biz usually puts a little little articulation there so that you could rotate that ponytail and make it look like it's waving around in the wind, or it's like underwater or something. So I wish they could have done that here. This is just a small piece of plastic. Pretty sure they could have just added that bit of detail, and that would be awesome. She stands pretty well. Yeah. One nitpick, very very tiny nitpick about this G.I. Joe line by Hasbro. think those feet are scaled to their bodies. I mean, I kind of think those feet are a bit small. Anyway, she comes with a crossbow which splits into two. Um, this would actually be a nuisance since this would probably usually break off when you have her handle it. She comes with 3 knives, and the knives are two of them are identical, just two, and another utility knife which is smaller. I guess this one is going to be where? Here? Yeah, this one's probably here. And those other knives are gonna be here. So yeah, so she has a bunch of knives and a crossbow. I wish they could have given her a bit of, and this is me being ignorant of my GI Joe knowledge. But did Scarlett use other weapons other than a crossbow and her knives? Meron ba siyang, did she use other guns and other stuff? Yeah. So yeah, she can hold her crossbow pretty well. Mm-hmm. Right. The sculpt on the face is amazing. The detail of the freckles, something I would commend. I wish there would be a bit more of a wash, something, a dry brush effect on the hair to make it look a bit more fuller. But flat color is nice. Details is minimal on the hair, not that much sculpting going on there. The face is beautifully sculpted. I really like it. Features the same articulation as most of the GI Joes. The Joes they have, which is the neck is connected to the body, to the torso, on a ball joint, and then the head is connected on a ball joint again, but with a hinge so that you could look down, and look up. And also, since it's on a ball joint, it allows of a bit of a wiggle to the head. Okay. Ponytail is not articulated. Wish they could have done that, like I said. Um, there is an articulation in the mid torso, which allows for ab crunching and back arching, whatever. Sorry, hindi yeah. And then a slight butterfly joint in the uh, shoulder area, which allows her to move her shoulders inward. And aside from that, it also features a ball joint of sorts, which allows her to lift her arms sideways like so, and on the other side. Of course, this bit of shoulder armor is preventing movement of that articulation point. She does not have a bicep swivel, but she has a rotation at her elbow, and that elbow has a single bend joint. Wrists are articulated as well. You could rotate that freely, and it has an inward outward movement. On the other side the other side features a downward and upward movement for her wrist. The right arm is more free because it does not have that shoulder guard, and then features a ball joint which joins the middle torso to the hip, which is amazing, and then her legs, actually, the hip joints here, the joints that connect her legs to her pelvis, actually, you can pull it down, see that, for more movement. Look at that kick, and you can always push it back to its original position. There is a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, a boot cut swivel, uh, ankle tilts, and also you could point her feet down and point it up. No toe bends, which is okay. This is a pretty articulated figure, and Hasbro has. I mean, this is part of the first wave, so this is the initial salvo of the Joe line, and Hasbro did not disappoint. These are amazing figures, and should be more than enough for any Joe heads. Of course, most of the Joe collectors I know are particularly fond of the vintage line, which is actually not the original line. The original line was like a 12-inch doll. It's not a doll, it's an action figure, okay? But the 1980s version of the G.I. Joes, the 3 and 3/4 inch line was what I was born into and what was I collecting before. And most of those of my age group collected also those figures, and they love those. But this 6-inch scale line is amazing, and if you are a Joe fan, you'd be so happy to have them in your collection. I had mistaken that I would not be tempted to buy them, and I just bought from the first wave Snake Eyes and Destro. But having those two figures in my hand, I knew I had to get them, so I eventually got most of them. I'm just waiting for 2 more, and then I don't know what else will happen. So yeah, so I have Scarlett, and Scarlett is a nice figure. Of course, if you have Scarlett, you have to have Duke. I don't have my Duke yet. I'm still waiting for it. And I guess that's it. That's my video for today. This is my look at this Scarlett figure. What I like about the Hasbro figures of G.I. Joe is they're doing a page out of McFarlane, wherein the figure. Oh, I see. I think I know why the guy sold this to me. There is a bit of a mishap with her. What is this? Her crotch area. If you can see that. Yeah, but I'm not really particular with having my toys that pristine. So yeah, so she has a rip in her crotch area. That's okay. What I was saying, they took a page out of the McFarlane toy playbook. Different texture. It's like she's wearing latex-like material, which is more like a superhero type material in her upper costume, then more metallic coloring and metallic color picking for parts that would be more metallic. So armor. So it's like having a breastplate here, and then going down to her feet. Texture is like denim, and then a bit more of that sleeker, more like superhero style stuff, and then more than going down to her boots and her knee pads, which will be more futuristic armor again, which are painted like, what we call this, painted like metal. And yeah, it's pretty impressive, and the way that this figure is articulated can stand very well on its own. Gone are the days of having female figures that look like wraiths because they're too thin. and two stuff, because I don't know why they sculpt female characters that way. But this one is more full-bodied, um, without being overtly sexy or anything. But you know that it's a female figure. It's articulated very nicely. Details are awesome. Head sculpt is on point. That's a pretty lady. And that's it. Alright, that's enough. That's my video for today. Thank you for watching. This is me, John, asking you again if you could subscribe. Of course, you could take a look more at my videos wherein I just say a bunch of stuff about a bunch of toys. Please do comment suggestions and questions. Type them down below. Please leave a like or share it to your friends. And if you're gonna subscribe, please do click on that notification bell so that you know when I'll be uploading other stuff. Thank you guys, and thank you for watching.